Hey everyone, so this is going to be my first knitting and crocheting podcast. My name is Brittany, better known as Wild Knit Mama on both Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. So I am 25 years old. I have been married for 5 years now to my husband, and we also have a daughter who just turned 1 on July 12th. I'm mostly a stay-at-home mom. I do work part-time. I started to crochet when I was 7. My grandmother taught me, and then I just recently began knitting about a little over a year ago when I was about, I think, in my second trimester of pregnancy. So I have been not knitting for too long. Like I said, this is my first podcast, so it's going to be kind of all over the place. I kind of have an order to things, but it's my first time, so it's not going to be the greatest, and I'm not going to be editing it. It's going to be raw, so for those of you who don't like raw footage, I'm sorry. It's what I got right now. So I don't want to make this first podcast too long. If you want to know more about how I found crochet and knitting, you can go to my blog. I did do a blog post. There's not too much on my blog right now just because I'm still building it, but eventually I want to put free patterns and things like that that I've made. So I guess let's start with fails. I don't see too many people do failed projects, but I have two that kind of backfired on me. So this first one was supposed to be kind of like a cardigan, kind of like a cardigan but long, it went to mid-thigh, and it did what it was supposed to do, but I didn't make the armholes wide enough, so it actually doesn't fit my arms. It's super stiff right now. I haven't washed it or anything yet, so it's super stiff. I like the colors. I wish I could put it on and show you. So it's not 100% fail. It's just a fail for me because it will not fit me. I have although I'm petite, I have big shoulder blades. I'm very broad shouldered, so this just didn't work for me. It's just too tight under my arms. So, because of how broad my shoulders are. So this is a fail for me. I'm probably going to unravel it because I love the yarn. It's so bright and colorful, and I want to use it for something, so I'll probably unravel this at some point. The second failed attempt was supposed to be I call it a baby doll top, and it looks huge when I hold it up, but it actually fits quite nicely when you wear it. But this was the top portion. It was inside out. I crocheted this as well. So both of these are failed crochets. So the top part was supposed to be the bust. So it's supposed to lay here and kind of hang off your shoulders. I didn't use the right yarn, and that's my fault. I didn't use the yarn that she called for. I will link below the blog post to the pattern for this because it is a really cute top, and if I had used the right yarn, I'm pretty sure it would have fit me. It's just this side, the bust fits. It's just where your waistline is, it's not stretchy at all, so I can't get it over my bust to put it on. So I'm going to rip this back, and I'm going to end up ordering whatever yarn she used because she used a really nice stretchy yarn. So I think if I did it again with the yarn that she recommended, it would turn out really, really nicely. I wish I could tell you who did it, but I will link it below for the baby doll top. So those are the only fails, which is good. Only 2. That's not too bad. Let's see. I will do finished objects next. I just have some little ones. I saw this post on Pinterest. I'll link this down below for the Headwrap sash earmuffs. It just goes, take off my glasses here. This I think is the smaller one for my daughter, but it just goes over your ears like so. It's super cute, and it was really easy to make. This is a knit project. Everything else pretty much is knitting. It's just a garter stitch head wrap. It's super stretchy, super easy to make. and I think it's super cute. I made 2 of them, one in a smaller size for my daughter and one in a larger size for me. I'm thinking of making some more for like my sister and things like that. I did make a burnt orange one, but I gave that to my friend for her baby. And then, so I saw this pattern and I really liked it, but I thought it would look super cute with a bow. So I created a pattern that, it's really not that complicated. I'm going to be posting my version with the bow as a free pattern on my blog when I'm finished writing it up and taking pictures. But I thought it would look super cute with the bow, so I made this one, which has a bow in the center, and I'll put that one on just so you can see. And at first the bow sticks up, but if you just push it down, it curls really nicely because of the garter stitch. But I think it's super cute, and I think it would look cute if like you off-centered the bow. My hair's kind of crazy, so it doesn't look that great on me, but if you had like a pig ponytail or something, I think it would look super cute. So I will have a pattern written for this eventually, hopefully soon, on my blog. I'll let you guys know when I get that done. And it's actually just simple. It's the same as this. So you cast on 20 stitches, and then you do a garter stitch until you hit, it says it calls for 14 inches, but for me, I don't like mine to be too tight, especially because I have glasses. It pushes on my head and I don't like it. So for me, like this is the 14 inches they call for. This fits my daughter really nicely, and it does fit me. It's just it's too snug. So I don't like how tight it is. So I would say my daughter's 1 and this fits her really nicely. So I'd say 14 inches if you're doing for like an 8-month-old or a year-old to a kid would probably fit this really nicely. For an adult, however, I did 17 inches for this one, and it fits really nicely on my head, slides on easily, it's not too tight, and it covers my ears. So 17 inches I think is the better length. That's just my personal opinion. It could just be the yarn I'm working with. It's pretty stretchy, so I don't know. I guess find what works for you, but I prefer the 17 inches in garter stitch. And then you sew the ends, so it's just a strip of garter stitch till you hit 17 inches, and then you sew the ends like without cutting. You cast off, and then you run a string and just whip stitching it across, and then pull both ends of the string and scrunch it together, and it scrunches this part up, and then you wrap string around until you get, whatever size you want of a knot, until you think it looks good. And then I just tied it in the back a few times, ran the needle through a few times to sew it off. The only difference between this one and this one is it's basically the same. The only thing I did was after I whip stitched and pulled, I tied that off, but I left enough string on the end to do the wrapped part. So I wrapped it around my fingers enough till I thought it was bulky enough, and then cut it and then let it hang off this. And then I made the second piece. This again, I just cast on 20 stitches, and then I did the garter stitch until I hit, I think it was, I want to say 2 inches, I think it was, 2.5 inches. And depending on what size bow you want, you can increase that. You can do 3 inches if you want it a bit bigger. But I think I did 2.5 inches for my bow. And then, so it's just this panel, like this. And then you place it where you want it, so it's centered. And then you take the extra string that you saved to wrap, and you wrap it around. And that's it. You can, and I sewed it a few times back and forth to hold it. But that's really it. That's how I added the bow to it, and I think it turned out super cute. So I did 3 of those. 2, well, technically I did 4, but I gave 1 away. So I did 2 knotted and 1 bow. I'm going to play with different colors for those. I want to do a burnt orange color, and then I have this really pretty burgundy color and like a heather color with specks of brown. So I think I'm going to do those. And I think I'm going to have these for sale when I open my store on my website. Plan on opening my store probably September 1st, just so I can get a few things made first. Alright, so that's finished products. Next, let's go to works in progress. Alright, so the first thing I have, I just got this at Joann's today. It's super cute bag. They have these for $9.99 at Joann Fabrics plus coupon. So I am currently in this bag working on my first pair of socks, and I've redone this pattern so many times because I messed up after the heel flap. I went to go do the heel turn and I messed up and did it backwards, and anyway, I messed up, so I ripped it back a few times, and I just got a new set of, as I rip off my stoppers, I just got a new set of needles specifically for socks because I really like doing it. I don't mind that I restarted a few times because I like the pattern. The pattern I'm using is the Hermione's Everyday Socks pattern. I really like the texture, and honestly redoing it a few times has gotten me to almost memorize the pattern, so I could probably do it without reading the pattern now. And I wish I did have a lot more of this done, but like I said, I had to rip back and start over. So I just started these this morning with my new needles. I had it on interchangeable needles, but they kept getting caught. I find that depending on what your interchangeable needles are, they can catch pretty easily. So I wanted to get ones where they wouldn't catch. So I got these. They didn't have them in the metal, which is fine. These don't fit these because they're size 1s. So it's just a size 1 and just enough wire to give me some working room. And yeah, they're super fun. I like them a lot. I can't wait to get them finished. And then I want to do I want to try the Clark socks by Brooklyn Knitting, I think it's called. I think she's called Brooklyn Knitting. Her podcast, I think it's Brooklyn Knitting, I'm pretty sure, but I will link her channel below as well. She came up with a sock design called the Clark's socks, and I really want to make a dark gray or black pair for my husband. I think they would be really nice. They have like a Celtic knot down the middle. It's really pretty. But that's her pattern that she wrote, and so I want to try that. But those are my socks. These are the Parsons, I think it's Parsons sock yarn. The pattern's really cool when it starts getting knitted up. I just don't have it knitted up as much as I had before I ripped it. So that's that for one of my knitting projects. The second knitting project I am working on is the Campside by Alicia Plummer. I'm using the Buttercream Luxcraft Mohair brush in the color, I believe, dark green. It's really nice. It has the mohair, and it's nice. It has like flecks of different colored greens in there. Very earthy, and I think the Campside, which is free on Ravelry, I think it would look really pretty in that color. It's very fall-y. I haven't gotten very far. I struggled with this one a lot. It's my first shawl, knitted shawl. So I'm struggling a bit. I've had to restart a few times. It's finicky just because it's so small right now. Like I literally just started it, like just. So yeah, I haven't gotten very far with that one yet. But I think it'll be really pretty in this colorway. So. And I got bamboo needles for that as well, because I didn't have the length in the interchangeable, and they didn't have it at Joann's either, and I didn't feel like ordering anything off of Amazon, so these are good. I had to restart I had gotten pretty far and had to restart because the stitch markers I were using were these guys, and they have an opening on the one side, and one of my stitch markers came off while I was knitting, and I lost my place, and then yeah, I just had to restart. So these guys stay on the hook pretty well. They're just funny right now because they're so close together. So that's what I'm working with that. And then the only other project I have going on right now is I think I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm not sure. The Klaziena by Kirsten Bishop. This is also on Ravelry. I can link that below if you like as well. It's a really pretty shawl. Let's see if I don't think I'm going to do it as long as they call for. I mean, it's like a blanket. How long they have it. It's super long. I'm short. I'm only 4'11", so I'm definitely not going to be making it as long as that. What am I using for this? I'm using the shawl in... Crap, what is it called? I can't get up or else the camera will fall over. I think it's Shawl in a Ball or something. Can't remember. Smells Like Yarn talked about it. I think it's by it's by Lion's brand, I'm pretty sure. I have more balls down there, I just can't get to them. But I have these, and this is how far in that I've gotten. Very lacy. It's really nice. I can't wait to see the ombre effect of the yarn. Very lacy. I struggled with this one a few times just with the count. It takes a lot of my concentration. This one is not knitted. This is crocheted. This is my only crochet project going on right now. It's really pretty though. Like the lace it's gorgeous. Like the pattern and everything. It's really pretty. And it's just a repetitive pattern over and over again. It's just some parts are tricky because if you don't keep count, or if you skip something, it messes the next row messes the next row up. Sorry, I stutter when I'm a little nervous. So, but that's that, and that is it for works in progress right now. I have 3 projects going on: my Hermione's Everyday Socks, my Campside Shawl, and my, I forget the name already because it's hard for me to remember, the Klaziena Shawl. So yeah, 3 projects going on right now that I am enjoying. As for new yarns, I just got the butterscotch, or the buttercream Luxcraft mohair brush in dark green for my Campside Shawl. This is new. It is 630 yards, 5 ounces, 80% acrylic, 10% polyamide, and 10% mohair. It calls for size 2 needles and D3 or 3.25 crochet hook. It is fine, label's fine too. And then the other one that I've gotten, they were on sale at Joann's, is the Sweet Roll. I got a few of these in the black and gray. I've been wanting a lot of neutral colors lately for myself. This is 100% acrylic. 245 yards or 224 meters. It's a medium yarn, medium weight yarn, US 9 needles, and 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And then I got that, this is the color, what color is this? Black Pepper Swirl. And then I also got it, and this one's all crazy because my daughter got into it. This one is in the color Jello Pop. Yeah. But I don't know if you can see all the colors in that one. That one's really cool colors. I liked it because it had kind of that burnt orange with some speckles of other colors in there, and this really deep blue and the purple. So I like those colors. So that's it for new yarns. I picked up my first, I've been watching a lot of podcasts where they have, they've been looking at knitting and crochet magazines. I don't really have many books. We have a lot of stuff in the storage unit right now. We're in the process of moving. So I don't really have a lot of books out, and I haven't been buying any because I don't want to hoard books while we're trying to move and everything is in storage. But I don't have a knitting magazine, and I thought I would buy one, so I bought one from Joann's. It's Knit Your Style. Mostly because the patterns on the front page, I really would love to try. I am a new knitter. I've only been doing it for a year, so I'm actually going to be trying this scarf right here, this one, for my mother-in-law. She wants me to make a scarf for a friend by Christmas. She wants it by Christmas, for Christmas, so I have time to probably have to do it multiple times before I get it right. But there's some really cute patterns in here. I'll do a quick flip through. Some socks, scarves, shawls, tops, cardigans, all that. So some really pretty cute stuff in here. There's a top that I really want to try making. I've never made a top before, knit-wise. So I kind of want to try one of the tops in here. It looks pretty straightforward, but I say that and we'll see. Yeah, they have like really pretty, this is a pretty shawl. I like the design at the bottom, but I don't want to show too much. But you can get this at Joann's. I'm sure many people have heard of it. It's probably pretty generic for most people, but for me, it's my first one, and I like it. I really like the patterns in it. There's even some clutch bags in here that look super cute. So, yeah, I'm excited to try it. Let's see, where's the scarf I want to do? I can find it. It's towards the back, I think. Take me forever. Come on, where are you? There it is. This is the scarf I'm going to try for my, what's it called? It just says scarf. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't look like it has a name anyway. I don't see it. It just says spring style. But it has a really cool pattern on it, so with like tassels at the bottom. So I'm going to try that, making that for my mother-in-law. So that's the book that I've gotten recently, and that's really it. Like I said, I'm going to be writing up the pattern for adding the bow. I'll post a link to the original pattern down below, as well as the pattern, all the other patterns that I have. It's about, I'm running 23 minutes, so I'm trying to wrap this up. If you enjoyed the podcast, and would like to help my little piece of the internet grow, please hit the like and subscribe button. Comment down below what you're working on. If you have any questions about me, since I'm new, or anything like that, please feel free to post a comment below. You can send me a message on Instagram, find me on Ravelry, add me on there, send me a message. I just love the fact that everyone in the Knitting and Crochet Podcast community, and just in the knitting and crochet community in general, are so welcoming and nice. I've had so many people add me on Instagram already, and just start a conversation with me. I don't have many things on my Instagram page yet because I'm so new. Crocheting I always did as a hobby, but I didn't really know that other people would be so into like seeing my stuff. So I am quite new in the community. And it just seems like a really welcoming community. some of the people I love to watch personally, their podcasts. Lately I've been really into Smells Like Yarn's podcast. He is awesome. He makes me laugh, and I just like how laid back he is and that it's raw. And I don't know. He's one of the people who inspired me to start my own podcast, even though it's starting small. So I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. If you did, I would appreciate it. And I look forward to meeting you and starting some conversations with you. Bye, guys.